Ever walk into a situation feeling like you're missing a crucial piece of the puzzle?
Yeah, like maybe a new project or some complex discussion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or even just trying to quickly get the vibe of a room.
Well, today we're kind of handing you that missing piece.
We're taking a really focused look inside a business sales meeting.
Think of it like getting insider knowledge, not just about sales strategies, but about how ideas get presented.
And maybe more importantly, how they're really evaluated, right, in a professional setting.
Exactly. And what's interesting is where we got this from.
Right? Our source material is actually an English language learning tool.
Yeah, it uses this exact dialogue to teach business English. So we have the transcript.
And the explanations to the key terms and phrases, it's all there.
So this isn't just about one specific sales chat. You'll get practical insights into how people communicate in business.
You pick up on the nuances like how suggestions are actually received.
And ultimately, you learn how you might navigate similar situations better. We're pulling out the core stuff so you understand what really matters.
Okay, let's get into this meeting then. The setup is pretty clear from the get-go.
Yeah, sales need a boost, like urgently.
And the manager. He's looking for concrete solutions. You can almost feel the pressure.
Oh, definitely. And what jumps out right away is that first exchange of ideas.
And how the manager reacts. So Roger suggests lowering prices.
Right, to match the competitors. He points out, that they're the most expensive in the market.
And the manager's reaction is just, wow, blunt.
Totally. Dismisses it, calls it not very creative.
And even says, it'll never fly with Swan. Ouch.
Then he questions Roger's kind of thinking. It's a really quick shutdown.
Yeah, like zero exploration of why they might be the most expensive, or if there's a middle ground.
Right. It just kind of stifles things from the start.
Yeah.
Makes you hesitant to speak up next time.
For sure. So then Natalie tries.
She suggests a promotion, maybe a 2-for-1 offer or something like that.
And again, the manager is initially just no.
Calls it the same thing. Bad idea, really bad idea. Seems like his mind's made up.
It's not exactly fostering creativity, is it?
Not at all.
Yeah.
But then the dynamic just flips.
Ah, right. Mr. Swan arrives, the CEO.
And it's like a switch is flipped. The manager's whole demeanor changes.
It's pretty telling, isn't it?
Very. So Swan asks for ideas.
And suddenly Natalie's 2-for-1 offer, the one that was a really bad idea.
Suddenly the manager presents that as something they were kind of considering to get more competitive.
Wow. He even rephrases it slightly, calls it a 2-for-1 promotion.
Exactly. It really shows how much hierarchy can influence things, Maybe it's not always about the idea itself.
But who's presenting it and who's listening?
And Mr. Swan's reaction, completely different.
He likes it. He says, I kind of like the sound of that. It sounds like something we should consider.
And the manager, he's immediately all in.
I bet. What does he say?
Dumps right in with, exactly, that's just what I was thinking. In fact, it's a brilliant idea. I'm glad we thought of that. Very creative.
Brilliant idea. The turnaround is just striking.
It really underscores how the perceived value can change based on who gives the nod of approval.
It definitely puts a spotlight on those organizational dynamics. Okay, since this is from a learning resource, let's dig into some of the vocabulary here.
Good idea. First up, drive sales.
Pretty straightforward, right? Just means increase sales.
Yeah, exactly. Sell more. Boost revenue. It's the main goal here, the reason for the meeting. They need to actively push sales up.
Okay. Then there's promotion, and not like moving up the career ladder.
Right, different meaning here. It's a marketing strategy, something to get people to buy.
Like the 2-for-1 offer mentioned.
Precisely. Or maybe a temporary discount, some kind of incentive.
Got it. What about match the competitors? Roger's idea. What does that mean strategically?
Well, it means looking at what your rivals are doing, especially on price, and aligning with them.
So lowering your price if theirs is lower.
Potentially, yeah. The source material gives good examples, like a price match guarantee. But it also hints at the downsides.
Like maybe you can't match them because your costs are higher, or you don't want to if it hurts your brand image or profit.
Exactly. It brings up that whole question of competitive strategy. Is just being the cheapest the best way to compete long term? Maybe not.
Good point. Okay, and in the market. He said they were the most expensive in the market.
Simple one, really. Just means in the industry or in this business sector.
Defines the playing field.
Yep. Like saying, the best coffee shop in the market means the best compared to the other local coffee shops.
Right. Okay, and I like this next one, the idiom, it'll never fly.
Huh. Yeah, it's very vivid, isn't it?
It really paints a picture. Means it won't work.
Pretty much. Or it's a bad idea, or, importantly, they, meaning higher-ups, maybe will never approve it.
Ah, okay. So it could be about feasibility or just about getting approval.
Exactly. The examples they give help like a super expensive marketing plan. Maybe it's a good idea, but it'll never fly because of the cost.
Or selling bikinis in Alaska. That definitely won't fly.
Right. It's a great informal way to signal something's a non-starter.
That's a bit of color. Now, the source also pointed out some fluency builders, little language tweaks.
Yeah, subtle things that make speech sound more natural. Like instead of just, we'll be here soon.
The manager says Mr. Swan will be here any minute.
Right. Any minute just feels a bit more immediate, like you're expecting them to walk through the door right now. More anticipation.
Okay, makes sense. And instead of we are thinking about an idea,
They use we should consider.
which sounds a bit more deliberate, formal.
Yeah, consider suggests a more serious evaluation is needed or happening. It's common in business talk.
Gotcha. And the last one was that word the manager used after Swan liked the idea.
Brilliant. From bad idea to brilliant idea.
Quite the upgrade.
Definitely. Brilliant is a strong positive. The source notes it might be more common in British English, maybe, but everyone understands it means really good.
And it just highlights that massive shift in opinion once the boss approved.
Totally. Which, brings us neatly to the whole management style aspect here.
Yeah, it's hard not to talk about the manager's approach, isn't it?
It really is. The way he shoots down ideas initially,
And then grabs Natalie's idea when the CEO is there.
it raises big questions about, good leadership. That kind of thing can really damage morale.
Absolutely. If people feel their ideas will just get dismissed or worse, stolen, why bother speaking up?
Exactly. It creates a climate of fear, maybe, or at least hesitation. Psychological safety goes out the window.
Yeah. Think about being Roger and Natalie. You put an idea out there, get shut down.
And then watch your manager basically take credit for it moments later.
That's incredibly demotivating.
Right. A manager's job, a big part of it anyway, is to create a space where ideas can be shared and discussed constructively.
Even if an idea isn't perfect, you acknowledge it, maybe explain why it won't work.
Precisely. This manager, though, seems way more focused on looking good for Mr. Swan than actually finding the best solution with his team.
It reminds me, actually, I worked for this general manager once who was the total opposite.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he made a huge effort to ask everyone for input. Didn't matter your job title. And even if he didn't use your idea,
He'd tell you why.
always, he'd explain the thinking, thank you for contributing. It made such a difference. People felt valued,
That sounds like a much better environment. Really fosters loyalty and makes people want to contribute more.
Totally. It's the complete opposite of what we see in this meeting dialogue.
Yeah, that's a great contrast. It really shows the impact of different leadership styles. One encourages, the other
Oh.
discourages.
So, okay, wrapping up this deep dive, we went through this seemingly simple sales meeting. What are the big takeaways?
Well, first, the nuts and bolts. Sales meetings often focus on how to drive sales.
Right, and understanding those key terms is crucial. Promotion. Match the competitors in the market. You need that vocabulary.
Absolutely. Second, and maybe the bigger lesson, is how much office dynamics, like with the CEO arriving, can shape the conversation.
Yeah, how ideas get received isn't always just about the idea itself. Power plays a huge role.
It really does. And third, on the language side, those little upgrades any minute instead of soon, consider instead of think about.
And how a word like brilliant can signal a major shift, those nuances add a layer of understanding.
It all paints a richer picture.
So here's something for you, the listener, to think about. As you go about your day in your own work or studies or even just group interactions.
What are some of those unspoken dynamics you've noticed when people share ideas?
Have you seen situations like this one where maybe who said something mattered more than what they said?
Thinking about those dynamics, just noticing them, might actually help you navigate those situations more effectively yourself, something to mull over.